Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash. It's La Liga. It's week 27. I had a bit of a dip last week, but obviously I only let the old 2 or 3 units go. But Premier League got them back for me, which is very, very strange. I'm going to have Paco from La Liga Lowdown and obviously Martin, who's going great guns. I don't even know he realises how well he's actually doing. If you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that I'll notify you and you'll never miss any content again. So Monday morning, Champions League. Tuesday, Europa League. And then Thursday, we have the free shows of Serie A, Bundesliga, Premier League. And then next Friday, it will be La Liga Lowdown representative again. I'm not quite sure who it is yet. I know it's been sent to me, but just one game at a time. Also press link in description, take you over to articles wrote by either Martin or Tan or Alex, but every single sport we cover here on SBR is accompanied by an article, so get yourself over, have a good read, and it may put a little bit more meat on the bone of what we're saying here. And we've done really well, to be fair, over in La Liga over the last few weeks. Paco, welcome back. It's always good to see you. You're so much better than Ewan and Roman.
Oh, that's nice and sweet coming from you, but I don't think so, really. They are so nice.
Have confidence in your own ability. Have confidence.
Yeah, I am confident on my own abilities, but they are also great at what they do. So, we later have the discussions in our own WhatsApp group and, always Flash is praising you and whatever. What are you doing? Are you bribing him whatsoever? No, he's doing that on himself. So, later I have to pay for everything nice you say about me. Later, they have some retaliation for me. So,
well, listen, it's getting crazy now in La Liga Primera because obviously Atletico are running away with it. Then they have to stumble up. They were so lucky last week against Real Madrid. I mean, how Real Madrid never got the penalty in the 42nd minute. I'm still crying over that. I'm like a little spoilt kid who's thrown me toys right out the pram.
Yeah, I think that it's becoming one of the most interesting seasons in many years because Atletico seem to have it just at its grasp, and suddenly they stumbled against that double games against Levante, and they showed that they were beatable. And suddenly the rest of the teams just lost their respect against Atletico, who seemed like cruising on their way to be the champions, and suddenly they have to make a big run for it. And Barca are looking good, even though they got knocked out of the Champions League. Real Madrid never give up. So we have a 3-horse race. And I think it's going to be that way just till the last match day of this season.
Lovely. I'm looking forward to that. I love it when there's always something to play for because you know that they're going to put an effort in, performance in, and then we get the value. Martin, you've been off Valencia train. You've been on the Sociedad train. You love Atletico and under 4.5. Listen, I'm going to put the records up in a minute, but you are absolutely flying.
Oh, glad to hear it, Flash. Glad to hear it. Well, I had the draw in the big Madrid derby last weekend, and that came in, which I was delighted to see. I always bet on those two teams drawing because it comes in so frequently. Glad to be putting up a bit of profit in La Liga. Been really enjoying the league in recent weeks. Lots of quality, and it looks like we're shaping up to have a really interesting title race in the final weeks of the season and a really, really intense relegation battle. So I think there's still a lot to play for, and I hope we can keep racking up profit in the weeks ahead.
Yeah, listen, there's plenty games ahead now. But the big thing for me is I'm starting to see sides that are turning it around, putting a bit more urgency in it. We'll go to the records first, please, Esteban. Okay, there's Martin. Look at that, 14.57. That's the highest out of any show any individual's putting up. And it hasn't been as easy as he's making it look. La Liga Lowdown, minus 10.49. That's not Paco, though. That's all Ewan and Roman. Flash, 0.35. So that's just a cup of tea. And you find more down the back of a sofa. Parlay, minus 8.28. Well, that parlay geezer's got to sort himself out. And I fancy this weekend could be the weekend, but total only at minus 4.55. So listen, a good weekend this weekend, and we will be flying. And I have got a plus 1100 single selection. So you want to just be waiting for that because I will be going. Okay, first game. We're going to come to you. It's a derby, Paco. Levante plus 120. Levante love scoring goals. They love letting them in. They love a 1-1 draw. Draw plus 250. Valencia plus 245. Valencia going up against Villareal last week. Unlucky with a dodge penalty to go 1-0 behind. And then Villarreal do what Villarreal do. Take their foot off the gas, think the game's over. And Valencia come away with 3 points, Paco.
Yeah, Valencia were able to just turn it around, relying heavily on Villareal, just shooting themselves in the foot. And I think it's become some sort of tradition for Villareal this season under Unai Emery. But, those 3 points were crucial for the team, trying to make things look a bit easier on the future. They were finding themselves in a very tough spot, only a few points away from the relegation battle. And at this point, I think they're looking much more confident, even though, as you guys already know, Valencian derby is always different. And there's some sort of tradition, going on between these two teams. Traditionally, Valencia fans believe that they had the 6 points in these two games were going to be for them every single year. And that hasn't happened ever. So that's why I believe Valencia might not win it tonight, because the tradition is there and statistics are there to just take a look at them. So I think a draw is looking very, very likely. These two teams find it very easy to score because their defense is not up to par. And I'll later talk about one of my picks for this weekend. But I think that a few goals before halftime might be the way to go, even though I believe the game is going to end in a draw.
So you fancy goals in the first half, over 1.5 goals in the first half?
Definitely, one apiece. Yes, one apiece.
You think maybe a 1-1 draw at half time, but listen, you don't care if Levante go 2-0 up, it's still a winner. Now, Valencia getting involved in any game, Martin, normally that's just a straight pass for you.
It normally is, Flash, but I was pretty
impressed.
I'm going for it. I was pretty impressed with them beating Villareal last weekend, when you consider the quality that Villareal have got and the players that they took from Valencia last summer. That was a really good win, and they never gave up. And it just reminds you that they've still got good players like Guedes. They've still got half of a very good team. I sort of thought Levante could beat them at the start of this season and really put down a marker as the main team in the city, but didn't work out like that. It ended up 4-2 to Valencia, and I think they will take some sort of comfort from that, some sort of confidence from that performance. And just seeing Valencia as such heavy underdogs does make me want to bet on them. So I was thinking about Valencia draw no bet, but in the end I found -131 on Valencia and the draw double chance. So as long as Valencia avoid defeat, my bet pays off, which I quite like those odds.
Yeah, listen, the accountant, he's found the value again. I thought that, and I'm going to do this probably till the end of the season across maybe all four leagues, because I'm not seeing many clean sheets being kept when there's teams that have just got sort of a little bit to play for, and then you've got a side that's got everything to play for. I fancy both teams score. So, if you fancy Valencia, then you're going to get Valencia to win and both teams to score at around +600, which is just unbelievable. You can really make up some value. I think the Alex Classic's in order here. I don't know who wins, but obviously after listening to you two, I hope it's a 1-1 draw at half time. And Valencia get a winner and go and win it 2-1. Martin, Alaves +120, draw +225, Cadiz +300. Why is it not just close your eyes, press the button and go with Alaves at +120 at home?
I kind of think this is a bit of a horrible game from a betting perspective, Flash. Two very, very poor teams in identical form. Lost 4 of their last 6 matches, taken 4 points from their last 6 matches. Pretty evenly matched in terms of quality right now. You would have thought at the start of the season Alaves were going to have a better campaign than Cadiz, but it hasn't quite worked out for them. Losing to Real Betis last time out isn't the end of the world, but performance levels haven't been great recently, and Cadiz did pick up that morale-boosting victory over Eibar, so they should have their tails up a bit. I think it looks like a really difficult one. I would just advise passing this one. Interested to hear if Paco has a different take on it.
Paco, we can't expect Cadiz to go to Alaves and win. I know Alaves have been shocking all season, but sooner or later they've got to put their best foot forward and be like the Alaves that we saw early part of last season.
I actually was going to say quite the opposite, because I've seen that usually when you have a change in the dugout and you bring in another coach, in this case Abelardo, who knew inside out how Alaves at least should be managed. that the team was going to bounce back from a bad streak of results, but actually it's happening quite the contrary. And the last 4 games have been 4 defeats. The last one, last weekend, was pretty heartbreaking for them. Whereas I think Cadiz always have at least a shot of winning the game, or at least picking up something positive. And I believe the main difference is that the strikers in Cadiz's case are much more reliable. For example, Negredo is, in my view, back in the day, he was a world-class striker. And, that kind of player never forgets how to score. So if I had to go with one of these teams, I will surely go with Cadiz, because I think they are in a better shape than Alaves, who are one of my top 3 choices to go down to Segunda.
Wow, Alaves to go down, that will be a massive kick in the teeth. But I mean, if you're going to go Cadiz, maybe double chance, you're probably looking at around maybe minus 115, minus 120. So I think it's an unders game. I don't think you can expect a goal fest here. I think Cadiz will take up their normal stance of frustrate, hit on the break, and just wait for the opening. Next game, I don't know how you find the value here, though, Paco, because Madrid at minus 420, draw plus 600, and Elche at plus 1600, which is massive. But Elche did a number on these earlier on in the season. Can we expect the same?
Well, at the end of the day, they have managed to win 2 of their last 4 games after the change in their dugout. Obviously, under Almiron, they were going nowhere, and it seemed that the team was doomed to get into the last 3 spots and go down. But they look a bit different, and I think at the end of the day, that's what they exactly need. They needed Fran Escribá to just shake the tree and try to get the players to do something different, motivate them a bit more. Even though Real Madrid are the clear favorites here, and you only have to look at the odds. Something which wasn't a Real Madrid win would be a huge surprise, because I think that everything is on their positive side. So at the end of the day, value. This is a great game, by the way, to do a parlay. But if you have to find the value, I think it's very, very difficult in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see Madrid blowing them away, Martin. So maybe the old Martin classic of Madrid and under 4.5. Because remember, Madrid have got a tough game coming up in the Champions League against Atalanta, where they're leading 1-0.
Yeah, I would love to go for the old classic of Real Madrid and under 4.5 goals, but there just isn't the value there. So I've had to push it to Real Madrid and under 3.5 goals. Like you, I think that big game coming up on Tuesday is going to be weighing quite heavily on the squad and on Zinedine Zidane. So they would hope to pick up a pretty early lead, and then you would expect them to try to control the game, not exert too much energy, take off some key players in the second half, and just try to do game management. We've seen quite a lot of low-scoring Real Madrid victories recently. I'm trying to think of the last time they scored more than 2 goals. It was actually against Alaves mid-January. Ever since then, it's just 2-1 wins, 1-0, 2-0, something like that. So I think a low-scoring victory for Real Madrid is on the cards here. I've got even money, plus 100 on Real Madrid and under 3.5 goals. And I like the look of that.
What's the win to nil?
I'll find that one out for you, Flash.
While he's looking, Paco, do we expect Elche to score?
Who?
Elche, do we think that they'll score against Madrid?
Playing out on Madrid's ground, even though it's obviously not Madrid's ground, they're going to play in their training ground. I don't think so. I think Elche are not still at that point in order to take such a big challenge like Real Madrid or Barca or other big sides. Okay.
What price you got for me, Martin?
Minus 125.
Minus 125. So I still fancy the 2-0 or 3-0 is going to be better. So Madrid and under 3.5 at plus 100. By the way, Martin, where are you?
I'm in the Google office right now in Silicon Valley. No, I'm in I'm in a room in my house where the background isn't particularly great. So I've put on the generic Skype background.
Yeah, you look like you're at school. Which is all good.
Yeah.
All good.
I had a meeting that overran with one of the SBR leadership team, and didn't have time to set up my usual Arsenal background.
It's all good. It's all good.
You got me here.
Okay, here we go, because this looks like a stone cold draw. Osasuna at plus 130, draw plus 220, Valladolid plus 275. Both teams to score. and the draw. So that's 1-1 or 2-2, Martin.
Yeah, looks like a really good game lined up. Who knows really what you're going to get with Valladolid these days? I mean, well done to them for beating Getafe 2-1. That's an excellent result for them, and they drew with Celta Vigo. I think they should be growing in confidence right now. Still hovering just above the relegation zone, but yeah, they must be starting to feel that they have what it takes to get out of danger. Osasuna aren't that far ahead of them anymore. Yeah, I think we could see both teams scoring in this one. Apart from losing to Barcelona and Sevilla in recent weeks, they've been very strong, Osasuna, and I do fancy them to get on the score sheet in this game. So, yeah, both teams to score looks like the way forward for me. Haven't added it into my tips, but I like that one.
Yeah, Mitch in the chat says both teams to score. No, erase that. Just erase it. Okay, Paco. Osasuna, Valladolid, how do you split these two?
Well, this one seems like a draw. It actually looks like a draw. And if you could actually taste it, it would taste like a draw. So, but they find it very tough to score. If you take a look at the stats, both of them have found it incredibly difficult to score. Osasuna only 23 goals for them. In Valladolid's case, a bit more, 25, but that's still they are like less than 1 goal per game. So if they actually manage to score and get, for example, a 1-1 scoreline, that would be in the average, and that would actually fit both of them. So I'm going from that one, full-time 1-1 draw between both of them.
Nice, at plus 220 as well. That'll be music to most of the people in the ears. Yeah, by the way, thumbs up, please. I like that. Alex Classic. Alex let me know that they not enough thumbs up. 26 thumbs up against 61. All right, so it's nearly 40%, but it's not good enough. Okay.
You can get plus 500 with Paco's 1-1 draw. That's a good set of odds, isn't it? Plus 500.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it is definitely. I mean, but so's the plus 220. Now, listen, there's only one person around here that gives up the big odds. Getafe plus 390, Paco, draw plus 210, and Atletico at plus 100. Why are Atletico not odds on? Do we think that Getafe will raise their game and cause these problems? And the draw at plus 210, normally I just go blind. If it's a draw around 210 to 19 plus 190, I just forget the teams and just go with the numbers.
Well, obviously they have coming up a very big game in a few days in the Champions League, but I have seen Getafe very closely in the last month. Actually, Valencia played against them only a couple of weeks ago, and they thrashed Valencia with a 3-0 win, which was the only win for Getafe in the last month and a half. So, and you could actually understand it because Valencia were horrible that day. So, Getafe are not, they are a shadow of the former selves. And I think Atletico won't really need to do their 100% and deliver their best performance to win this game. I think it will be a slight, very narrow margin, okay? So I don't expect those many goals, but yeah, Atleti are the clear favorites. I don't actually understand why the odds are actually pretty good for them. It's
probably because of what you've actually just said. They don't know who's going to play. And their squad is not at full strength anyway.
Yeah.
They've got suspensions, they've got injuries. Now, do they take Suarez out? Because if they certainly can't go to Chelsea and without him. So, I mean, it does look like a bit of a trap, Martin.
It does look like a bit of a trap, maybe when you put it in those terms. But Atletico Madrid have won their last 13 matches against Getafe. You have to go back to 2011 for the last time they lost to Getafe. I mean, they're so dominant against a local rival. I can't not go for Atletico at those odds. I bet on them yesterday. I got plus 112. They've gone in slightly now. They are odds on now. I think the best you can get now is like minus 102 or something like that. But
still like miles away from where you'd expect, though, isn't it?
It's a terrific opportunity to bet on the league leaders playing against a very poor side that are really going through a difficult patch. Yes, Atletico played in midweek, so fatigue could be a concern. Yes, they've got a big Champions League game next week, but surely for me, I would say the league has to be Atletico's priority now. I know they want to win the Champions League, but deposing Real Madrid and Barcelona and winning another La Liga title would be huge for the club, huge for Simeone. The Champions League could actually be a bit of a distraction with the squad they've got. I would say put everything into this Getafe game, pick up another 3 points, and who knows what happens against Chelsea. At those odds, I've got to go for it. Atletico to win for me.
Yeah, would you go and just push it a little bit further? And because if they win, they're not going to win by more than there's not going to be more than 5 goals in there. So what about Atletico and under 4.5?
Yeah, why not? They're a very conservative team, Getafe, as a Atletico Madrid. It's not going to be a rout you wouldn't expect. So yeah, if Atletico do take a lead, they probably would take a foot off the pedal a bit towards the end of the game with that Chelsea match around the corner. So yeah, why not? For a bit more value, Atletico and under 4.5. But just at those odds, I'm not sure you really need to when you can pretty much double your money by betting on them anyway.
Yeah, it really is one of those where you just say Atletico cannot afford to slip up. So these are odds. I mean, Atletico, if you think they're going to win, then they're not going to win 5 or 4-1. So take the under 4.5 as well, and you'll get maybe plus 140. I know it's a bit of greed, but nearly everybody in the chat made money from the Europa League selections yesterday, with Tottenham banker being half-time, full-time, with Tottenham banker being minus 1.5. Both teams to score in Milan game, both teams to score in the Rangers game. Villareal winning away. Honestly, they are so good. In fact, they're burning the money just to keep warm. It's like crazy. There we go. Celta plus 175, draw plus 240, and Athletic Club at plus 190, Martin. Looks like both teams to score. Do we see a winner?
No idea what's going to happen on the outrights here, but it definitely looks like both teams to score. It's paid off in each of Athletic Club's last 5 games. It's paid off in 4 of Celta Vigo's last 5 games. Yeah, the Valencia game was the anomaly there, but normally they're pretty dangerous going forward and pretty sloppy at the back. I think Athletic Bilbao are a better team than Celta Vigo, but they've had a really hectic fixture schedule recently. I think their legs are getting a bit tired. So I think they'll get on the score sheet here, but I think they'll concede as well. So I'm leaving the outrights alone and just going with both teams to score.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Alex in the chat's asking, why are we not seeing Paco in the chat? Well, Paco's like a little bit sleepy because he had a gigantic paella prior to coming on the show. He showed immense greed.
It's true. It's true. Paco? I have to say that's absolutely on point. That's absolutely true. But yeah, I try to enjoy. Paella,
yeah. When you have paella, do you have the shrimps or prawns and all that in there?
No, actually, I'm 100% for the meat. You know, the chicken, the paella valenciana is the name, and it's great. But I also enjoy the seafood one, which is
okay.
Excellent.
Well, I'm allergic to seafood, see, so I cannot ever go near it. But yeah, I like the meat one with plenty chorizo, a little bit of red wine. Yeah, it takes me back a bit, that. In fact, I'm might rush just to go and get some more food. Okay. Do we see, Paco, Athletic Club go there and get a result? Is this an Alex Classic? Or do you favour one of the sides?
I was going to try to one-up in this case Martin's prediction, because I do actually think that Athletic Club are going to win this. I've seen that Celta always score, and that's true. And I think going for the scoreline might be a good idea in this fixture. But Athletic Club, in Marcelino's case, he always favors trying to get the team to as consistent as possible, especially having 2 huge games next month with the 2 Copa del Rey finals, because remember, they're going to play the 2021 against Real Sociedad, and 2 weeks later they have to play Barca for the 2021 edition. So everyone wants to play those games, and in order to do so and be a starter, they have to perform in the earlier ones. So that's why I think that all the players under Marcelino are going to try to do their 100%. And that's why I expect them, their run of games before immediately playing the finals, are going to be great. And I think that they might win this one against Celta under those circumstances.
They were good against Atletico the other night as well. I know they just ran out of steam, made a few mental errors rather than
too many
mistakes
games
of giving the ball away. Yeah, they didn't track runners.
Games. Yeah, they had too many games in just a short period of time. They've played actually every 3-4 days. and they didn't have a squad for that. And that happened because Marcelino wasn't the coach at the beginning of the season. But I think they will come around. I think that they might be at the top of their game in 2-3 weeks, with a couple of weeks where they can rest. So getting to that point, they might win this one against Celta, and let's see what they do in the running out games before the finals.
Yeah, I think both teams to score safe. I think all three of us agree with that, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we like that. Both teams to score. If you want to stick that in a parlay, I don't fancy you're going to get rich off the single. No, you might get rich off of this single, though. Okay, it's Granada plus 500. Give me a shake. Draw plus 310. And Sociedad at minus 150. Paco, Granada coming off a 2-0 European win midweek. We know that their visitors went down to 10 men. But this Granada are starting to show more than green shoots of being like their old self. Now, do we take into account, because they weren't really extended the other night, so we're not going to be thinking they're exhausted, but are we thinking that they're putting a little bit more into the European campaign than they are the La Liga Primera?
Possibly so, because at this point they are just in the middle of the standings. They are 10th with 33 points. They are not going to have trouble with remaining in La Liga. So in that sense, I think they might have the steam left inside them and the gas inside them to try to make a move for the European spots. But yeah, obviously they're going to look into Europa League after yesterday's performance, especially with Roberto Soldado and Jorge Molina, who are absolute veterans in their craft, and they did an amazing job last night. But at the same time, I saw the last performance for Real Sociedad against Levante, and even though it was a 1-0 win, they thrashed Levante. They should have scored like 10 goals easily.
The same as when they played Villareal and went one down. They went one down.
Absolutely.
It finished 1-1, but Sociedad, after 26 minutes of the game, completely bossed it.
Absolutely. And that's why I think that after the basking in their glory and getting an incredible result of the Europa League, they might have physical problems. They might not be as fresh as expected. And if you mix that and blend that with Real Sociedad actually being accurate when targeting the goal, this could be a very easy win for Real Sociedad, even though they play away from home.
Okay. I think both teams score here. And I think that one of the teams gets a winner, Martin.
Yeah, I think Real Sociedad are going to win the game. They're in terrific form right now. 4 wins in a draw in their last 5 games. It's the back to their best with all their key midfielders back. They're looking really, really strong. I always want to oppose Granada when they have a midweek Europa League game, because I don't think they have the squad size to deal with the rigours of so many games in a short space of time. Their form hasn't been that good either in La Liga. So I think this is going to be an away win all the way. Yeah, Sociedad for me.
Okay, I listen, I couldn't be further from either of you. I'm actually gone. Granada, double chance, plus 130. Okay, I'm happy to take them and the draw. Remember, this is a side that knocked out Napoli. They kept clean sheets. Also, I'm going with Granada to win and both teams to score. I'm happy with a little 2-1 at plus 1100. Granada to win and both teams to score. I'm happy with a little 2-1, maybe even a 3-1, so I can sit back comfortably. But my whole idea is that I'm having 2 units on the game. I don't think they get beat. So if they're not getting beat, I'm going to get the plus 130. So if they don't win the game, I'm going to make 30% of my 1 unit. So I've gone with Granada to win and both teams to score at a massive plus 1100. You will see flags flying above the Flashman house if that comes in. Moving on, there's a side. We've got these bang on, by the way, Paco. Every time we speak about these, we get them bang on. Villarreal always to score first. They're away at Eibar. Eibar are plus 200. Draw plus 245. And Villarreal at plus 150. Villarreal score, take their foot off the gas, put a bit of Van Basselaar on, start sunbathing, and the opposition get their reward in the final 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think that could actually be named with another Unai Emery classic. Okay, so that could name for reference, for further reference in next shows. That is the Unai Emery classic. Okay, Villarreal scoring first and later, having just a nap in the rest of the game and getting the game drawn or even turned around in the scoreline. But actually, Villarreal fans are not that happy with the way things are going in the latest games, especially after the Valencian derby against Valencia. And there has been plenty of criticism against the Villarreal. So expect at some point, do not against if it will be against Eibar or in the next match day, but expect Villarreal to make a statement at some point and, get a big win and try to, reivindicate their own craft, because they have been not that good in the latest games.
They're coming back from Kiev. So obviously this game's going to be on Sunday. But they went there and they've done a proper job on them, by the way. And that's a tough place to go. Now, I'm thinking that the way that Eibar press high up the pitch, is this going to play into Villarreal's hand because they can take a breather and then they can pounce? Is the plus 150 just a little bit too big, Martin?
It's a very attractive set of odds on Villarreal when you consider that Eibar have the worst home record in La Liga this season. They're really missing fans inside their stadium. But then again, Villarreal draw far too many games. They draw so many games. I think they've only won 3 on the road all season. They're the draw kings of La Liga Primera. So I'd be more inclined to go for Villarreal draw no bet if I was going for it. Okay,
maybe draw no bet's going to be around plus minus 120, I'd guess. Maybe minus 115. Okay, I think you go for the away side or you don't even get involved in it. The next game, wow. There's a team that have fallen off a cliff, Martin. It's Sevilla at plus 110, draw plus 250, and Betis at plus 285. Sevilla scoring goals. But the problem with them when they're scoring goals, it was El Nesri. He scored something like 6 or 7 in 8 games. Then all of a sudden, he couldn't score. He couldn't hit a barn door. Do we trust them at plus 110? Is that price not just too big against a Betis side that let goals in for fun?
No, I'm done with Sevilla for a little while. I'm leaving them well alone. I mean, to be fair, it was a quality header from El Nesri in the Champions League against Dortmund. Terrific header and a banging penalty as well off the bar. I had the Alex Classic in that game, both teams to score in over 2.5 goals, and I had Haaland to score. So that was about the only time I've got Sevilla right in recent weeks. I bet on them to win the first leg against Dortmund, and I was on them beating Elche at the weekend, and they let me down. They
were horrendous. You could see that their mind was totally on the European job. I watched it, and I am sad, I know, I watched it back, just thinking that the score might be different. It was like, they were horrendous. That they didn't even, Sevilla are all about passing, moving, taking up a new position, giving your fellow player options on the ball. I've always said 2 or 3 options from Sevilla, that's when they're at it, hitting diagonals. They were passing and just standing still and like, oh, you get on with it. Honestly, it was horrendous to watch. And listen, they could have been 3 down. And first half, they could have been 3 down. Paco, but they beat Betis, surely. A little 2-1?
Yeah, I'm going. Martin did the trick against Borussia Dortmund, and in my case, I'm going to try to do it the same in this Sevilla derby. Alex Classic on both teams to score plus 2.5 goals, and Sevilla winning, because Betis have always had that problem this season when they had the chance to make a big leap in the standings, and they bottled it. They have done it consistently 3-4 times throughout the whole season. So they win, they draw, they find a disappointment, they win a couple of games, later draw again. But whenever they have the chance of really taking a grasp on the European race or the Champions League spots race, they always bottle it. And I think it has to do with their defense, because they have players who are awful defending, and I don't want to really give some names, but yeah, I think Pellegrini has
names.
Marc Bartra, man. Bartra is not the defender who should play in Real Betis, and the rest of the defense is not up to par. I think they are a great team. They play incredible football. They are getting the results, but they need to improve that next season. So in the Sevilla derby, Alex Classic, Sevilla win plus 2.5 goals, and both teams to score.
Yeah, so basically, you don't need to say the Alex Classics. It is Sevilla to win and both teams to score. What a massive price that is. And when I put up the official picks, you'll see that someone did that. Okay, the last game. Champions-elect, Paco. Champions-elect. Messi and his boys dancing into town. Barcelona minus 450. Draw plus 650. Huesca plus 1400. Come on, Barca.
Yeah, I'm heartbroken for Huesca because they are just, one game away from, actually 4 points away, but they are so close to getting out of the relegation zone when they seemed doomed only 2 months ago before Pacheta came in to try to salvage the shipwreck. But again, they're playing against Barca after suffering their possibly most heartbreaking loss and defeat of the season. So Barca will want to make a statement and make a point. So the possibility of them wrecking Huesca is so high that I'm really terrified for Huesca's well-being, because I think Messi is going to try to do 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever number of goals he's able to score.
Martin, Barcelona win to 0, or Barcelona and both teams to score. Barcelona and under 4.5. What do we think? I don't know, how much of a hangover do you think we'll see from the midweek, or are they just old enough and ugly enough to just put it behind them and let's crack on now for La Liga Primera?
Yeah, I think they'll be reasonably happy that they salvaged a bit of pride in that game in Paris. They actually should have won it. If Dembele hadn't missed so many chances, they would have come away with the win there. I think they would have still crashed out on aggregate because the first leg defeat was so heavy. But yeah, they're going to be very disappointed at the nature of their elimination once again. But they do have the chance now to try to hunt Atletico Madrid down. And they're within touching distance thanks to their very strong league form in recent weeks. I think they can go and beat Huesca. I just don't really know how. So I really struggle to find value in this game. They're minus 450. And how do you really assess Huesca?
Is that not the same as how we assess Man City? Is it a win to 0 only?
I don't think Barcelona are as composed as Man City, especially at the back. They are a bit weaker in defence, and it's Huesca that I'm struggling with more than Barcelona, to be honest. They lost 1-0 to Sevilla. They were very conservative for a large part of the season, but they just lost 4-3 to Celta Vigo. They beat Granada 3-2. Suddenly, they're coming out all guns blazing. So if I was going for anything, I'd probably go for Barcelona to win and both teams to score. That's the only way I can sort of find any value that I like on it. But
okay, no worries at all.
Put them in a parlay, but otherwise I'll leave them.
Okay, 79 of you watching, 38 of you have put your thumbs up. You've pressed it black, by the way. Someone sent me a Photoshop and I did see that it's black. I'll send you a Photoshop of mine and it's actually blue. But if there's 79 of you watching, there's 38 of you have put the thumbs up. That is about 47.7%. You can do the maths if you want. I know it'll take you a lot longer than me because I am an absolute genius when it comes to numbers, because that's how I work out how much I've lost. Okay, let's have a look at these picks, Esteban. Right, Martin's picks, Valencia, double chance, minus 131 tonight in the derby against Levante. Real Madrid and under 3.5 at plus 100. Atletico Madrid plus 112, plus 112. Celta Vigo minus 114. You're not really complicating this. And Real Sociedad and under 4.5 at minus 120. Let's hope that goes down, Martin, because if that goes down, I am in the money.
That Celta Vigo one, that's both teams to score, not Celta Vigo to win.
Oh, is it? Celta Vigo, both teams to score 114. Paco's picks, Sevilla. Alex Classic plus 145. I've gone a little bit further than that. Osasuna draw plus 210. Atletico plus 100. Enjoy that. Levante plus 1.5 goals in the first half at plus 175. It don't matter. Levante could be 2-0 up. It could be a 1-1 draw, or they could be 2-0 down as long as it's over 1.5 goals in the first half. Flash's picks. Levante, Alex Classic plus 120. I expect one of the sides to get a winner, but I expect both to score. Granada and both teams to score at plus 1100. I am going back to the well now with the Granada home form. Granada double chance is my insurance policy at plus 130. And Sevilla to win and both teams to score at a massive plus 350. Now, it's two-team parlay time. I'm going to come to you first, Paco. Who are we putting forward?
Well, obviously this weekend, I already mentioned Real Madrid. Okay. And if I have to pick another one, I think it's Barca. I really know that the value isn't the greatest, but Real and Barca have.
You only have to give me one, Paco, because Martin will give me the other one.
Real Madrid in my case. I'm going to go with this one.
Okay, so we're going to go with Real Madrid. So we go with Real Madrid. Can we trust them like a win to nil?
Yeah,
Paco?
Definitely.
Okay,
yes,
win to nil.
Yes.
I need the price for that in someone in the chat or Martin. Martin, give me the second one, please, of the two-team parlay.
It's -125, isn't it? Real Madrid to win to nil.
-125. Okay, that's good enough. Win to nil, Madrid.
It'll probably upset you. I kind of want to go for Real Sociedad.
Well, of course you can't go for Sociedad.
I can't do that after you've bet 2 units on them. So I'll go for Atletico Madrid to win for a 14th time in a row.
Just a straight plus 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I know, obviously, I don't care because I expect them to win. And if they lose, it's one of those. If they lose, I'm smiling. If they win, I'm smiling. So we love that. So it's Madrid. It's a Madrid double. It's Madrid win to nil at -125. And Atletico, just a straight win. Don't complicate it. At plus 100. Now, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that you'll know that it's Champions League Monday morning. The clocks go forward Eastern time. So I'll be here about 5:30 in the morning. So bear with me. I'll make sure I go to bed early on Sunday night. On Tuesday, Europa League. Again, Eastern time. Make sure you're tuned in. And then obviously all the shows next Thursday. And La Liga Lowdown will be sending one of their experts. Who it is, it's a surprise, will be next Friday. Paco, so much better than you and the Roman. Top man. Martin, keep up. Listen, I can't believe it. 14 units of profit. That's why you are the accountant. Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Press the thumbs up on the way out. Have a great weekend, everyone. And we really appreciate your support. You take care.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Flash.